Yes,
Good day. Am I speaking to Sophia Stewart?
yes, you are speaking to Sophia Stewart.
Okay,
How you doing?
thank you. I'm doing fine. My name is John, and I invited you to come on the radio show.
Yes, and I've
Yes.
been waiting for that. Yeah, I've
Okay.
been trying to call you and test everything out, but I see everything is working fine.
Yes, it's working fine. Well, it's really, I'm kind of excited. I just got up in the night and how you say, I'm from the Netherlands. The show is not
Yeah,
live.
this is
Yes.
good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I recognize your voice from other shows.
yeah, it's the real thing. I'm the real thing.
Wow.
You are speaking to Sophia Stewart.
Wow. That is great because first I was a little bit afraid that maybe I was on the wrong website or something like that. Uh, but yeah, yes. But now it's real. It's real that I can speak to
Oh,
you.
yes.
Um, Yeah, let's try to find an entrance to start. Uh, I started already the recording of the show because I just turned on the recording when you called. So we can just
Oh, great.
how you say that? So at one point the conversation will start rolling, I think, and
Okay.
then so now it's not live. It's not live on the air right now. It's
Oh, okay. Whenever you're ready for it to be live, that would be perfect.
well, I would like to say because of the technical setup that I have at the moment, I cannot stream live, but I will.
Oh, okay.
Uh, uh, but what I always do is I invite people to Skype, and then I record it with consent, of course. So so so
Yes.
so this talk is about also what I ask now if it's all right that I record it right
Oh,
now.
yes. I'm recorded all the time. I've done over 5,000 interviews, print, television, radio, newspaper, blog,
Okay.
you name it. I've done over 5,000. So, yes, you do have my permission to tape.
Okay. Thank you. No, that's makes me less nervous. Okay. Um,
It's no problem.
Let me think. Where to start? So today we here at the UA Omroep. That's the name of the show. We have as a guest Sophia Stewart, the mother of the Matrix. Um, yes.
Well, technically, the writer of the Matrix and Terminator, because I'm the writer. A journalist named me the mother of the Matrix when he did an interview with me. One of my first interviews that go all the way back, I think, in 2003.
Uh-huh.
But I am really Sophia Stewart, the writer of the Matrix and Terminator. It was my source work, my script treatment and book, Third Eye. And I don't know if I gave you a copy or ebook. Did I give you a copy or an ebook of the Third Eye or Matrix 4 book?
No. I got a PDF about the legal struggle around the copyright issues, or the how you call. You sent me a document about that, but
Well,
not
I
the.
forgot to give you a copy of either book because I still will give them to you, either one or both that you want, no problem. Because I'm so busy, I usually give people a ebook.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when people are interviewing me, I give it way in advance. But that I might have just forgotten because I got so many people
Okay.
pulling at me, for interviews.
Because what I want to get into actually is the yeah, how you say, the metaphysics of the story that you wrote,
Okay.
the deeper meanings of the message behind the true Matrix, so to say, or the true, or the Terminator, which then is the third eye, your novel.
Yes.
So I haven't read it, of course, but maybe I could extrapolate something from what I've seen in the movies, and then we could philosophize on that maybe.
Yeah, first of all, I want people to know that it's selling on Amazon.com. It is definitely selling on Amazon for those who are interested in getting the Matrix, the Third Eye book, which is Matrix Third Eye, and of course Matrix 4, which is the fourth installment of the Matrix. It actually eclipsed Matrix 1 and made Matrix 2 and 3 a bad dream, and that Neo and Trinity never died. They never died. The saga just continues with Matrix 4. Matrix 4 movie coming soon. And so my attorney told me to put out the book to continue my work. So the populations or the people globally, or 3 billion Matrix and Terminator fans, continue to enjoy the work until the fourth installment of the Matrix and the fifth installment of the Terminator comes on the screen.
So the movies are actually one-on-one copies from your story. Actually, if what's in the movies, it's also in your book.
That's correct. Neo is just a sneaky way of calling him the One.
Mm-hmm.
Neoone. It's just an anagram or just flipping it backwards and a sneaky way of calling him the One. So what I wrote was the second coming of Christ, second coming, not the first that's in the Bible, the second coming of Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus machine. In other words, Christ is going to come back. In Revelations, they said he'd be back. And so when he comes back this second time, and he's in the future, and he's up against nanotechnology.
Mm-hmm.
Because Matrix is Latin for womb.
For
In
whom?
the King James's Bible, Matrix is mentioned 5 times. And Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse out of the King James's Bible, God says, he who opens the matrix for mine, meaning they are his children.
Ah.
So the Terminator is actually the prequels to the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Connor is really Neo's mother.
Wow.
JC, John Connors, Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
They're one and the same.
Okay.
The journey of Neo, or the path of the One, or the path of the One, and the journey of Neo. So when you see the 3 Terminator movies, before you see the 3 Matrix movies, the work makes sense to you. Because the boy, the baby, the Terminator comes from the machine planet, their own planet, which is a machine planet, come from the future to the past to try to kill the woman, Sarah Connor, who's going to have this Neo, or this Christ child, Christ-like child, or the One, who's going to destroy them in the future. So they sent a Terminator machine to try to kill the mother so the baby won't be born and the prophecy won't be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Terminator to come to protect the mother and then protect the child. So the child will grow up to become Neo and the Matrix. The Matrix is the future. And
Yes.
at 33 years of age, the rebellion or the revolution starts. and the rebels come and they find him in the city because he's hidden in the city now. While the machines are looking here, there, everywhere, he's hidden right there in the city, right, hidden in plain sight, right before their nose. And anyway, the rebels have been watching him, and they come and they take him to Morpheus. And of course, Morpheus trains him, prepare him for the machines.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they take him over to the oracle. And the oracle is the female prophet, just like John the Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
Except the first coming was a male prophet, and I thought it would be fitting that a female prophet would be more fitting, because the creation, all of creation comes from femininity. The female is that of creation. She is the one that's birthing the babies.
Yes.
The womb. Matrix.
Matrix.
That's right, the womb. Matrix is Latin for the womb. And so the womb is a portal for the one.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out of the portal into this world, Earth. And so this movie and these books have so many hidden knowledge and symbolism and hieroglyphics and metaphors, but such a phenomenal, brilliant work to do the second coming of Christ in science fiction form.
Mm-hmm.
A little simple story, but yet so phenomenally great and brilliant.
So it's about the second coming of Christ.
The evolutions of consciousness.
Evolutions of consciousness.
Man versus the machine.
Man
In
versus
other
machine.
words, right. In other words, in the future, man will become so phenomenally intelligent that the machines would develop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the AI,
Yes.
artificial intelligence becomes so astronomical that it would become a threat
Mm-hmm.
upon the earth to mankind. And so this Christ child, the one, a Neo, N-E-O, O-N-E, the one, has to come and battle the machines to preserve the earth, or the prophecy of mankind, and to teach man to go through evolution to ascend into their light bodies. And that's what you see Neo doing.
Mm-hmm.
Neo goes through the pod, his human side dies, the third eye, the energy of the third eye, which is the eye of God, the energy comes inside of him, and now he's reborn. He's gone through evolution, he's transformed, he has ascended. He is flying, but he's not Superman. He's levitating. He's able to dodge bullets. He's able to touch the void, to multiply. And when Agent Smith, he jumps into Agent Smith's body, that is the positive meeting the negative.
Mm.
And when Agent Smith multiplies and divides and he becomes the same means over and over, more powerful to the 10th power, this is quantum physics and mathematics. And that's what the Matrix is about. Quantum physics, mathematics. And God is speaking in numbers. The Bible, greatest technology ever created.
Technology.
A computer, mathematics.
So the Bible is a technology.
That's right, nanotechnology. And God, you crack the codes. That's why it's Matrix 4, cracking the genetic codes. Because when you crack the codes, you extract the knowledge of God.
All right.
And if you look in the Bible, all of God's language is mathematics. And people understand most of the codes, but when it comes to Revelations, these are the codes that you see in the movie Beautiful Mind. They need code breakers.
Code breakers.
Or the Da Vinci
yes.
codes, where Leonardo da Vinci cracked codes and he was able to create submarine, parachute, the Gatling gun, the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to crack the codes in order to extract the knowledge and to know what God is saying. To invent, like Tesla.
Yes.
Tesla and Da Vinci are polymathematicians. And I myself is a polymath. I scored a 98 on the IRS exam. They wanted me to come and work for them.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing taxes when I was 11 years old. I was already doing what H&R Block ended up doing, but I was doing it before H&R Block was even ever known. Because at 11 years old, I was an entrepreneur making lots of money doing taxes for adults because they didn't know how to do taxes. And so therefore they paid me to do their taxes at
Mm-hmm.
11 years old.
So
I
mathematics.
didn't even do, excuse me?
So mathematics and the future. So your work is a kind of a encoded prophecy within. There is within your work a encoded prophecy of the Christ coming back, Neo the One, and there is actually really coming a future of robots and all these things and
Artificial
nanotechnology.
intelligence, but not microchips, not H.G. Wells' old Iron Age concept.
Mm.
H.G. Wells was a genius, and he was born in the Iron Age. He was born during the iron industry. I myself was born during the digital age, and so I saw them as microchips, naked cyborg Terminator,
Mm.
a naked microchip, naked without shame, a cyborg, but microchip. He is not a clankety clank old Iron Age H.G. Well metal concept. That is what all writers imitate. They imitate other writers,
Mm.
and they are imitating H.G. Wells, and that's why they don't get it right. Man cannot be fused with metal. Man has another chemical or chemistry that does not go with metal, iron. Metal poisons the flesh of humans. Man was not meant to be merged with metal, but microchips, yes.
Mm.
Silicon and microchips, yes. And this is what the Terminator is. It
Mm-hmm.
is not any of the old science fiction white writers' ideologies.
Mm.
They didn't know anything about microchips. They didn't know anything about naked cyborgs. They were all still working under the premises of H.G. Wells' old Iron Age.
Yes, I
They
see.
had no idea. They had never put nothing naked on the screen. Ray Bradbury, Rod Sterling, Joseph Stefano, Wes Craven, Harlan Ellison, none of these guys knew anything about a microchip, naked cyborg, naked without shame. That's why you see Schwarzenegger character as the Terminator. He's walking naked
Mm-hmm.
and he's walking around. He has no shame because and he comes through a time portal. The special effects and graphics come right out of my third eye book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Burning blue flame of coming down through the time portal. He's time traveling.
Time traveling. Uh,
That's right.
the book, The Third Eye, is a is it is parallel to reality, our reality. That these things will they come to pass?
Well, let me put it like this. The universal language globally around the entire world is mathematics. And that's why people buy my book. I have not gotten any translations yet. The book is in English, but it's selling around the entire world and people are buying it. Now, I have had people from France, they wanted translations, so people who cannot speak English or write English, they want the book in French. Peru, my book is sold even in Peru. The Peruvians want it in Spanish.
Hmm.
The Italians, Italy, they want it in Italian. So I am telling you that I am the real writer of the Matrix and Terminator, and I have the books to prove it.
Um,
Lots of great, phenomenal movie franchises come from books.
mm-hmm.
The Wachowskis just told all of you guys a blatant lie. They have never written anything. And no one can sit up there and brag about they wrote the Matrix and Terminator and never can continue the work or never be on any talk shows, major talk shows explaining the work and buying other people's work, other people's book. Cloud Atlas is David Mitchell's work and they crashed it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even make $4 million. Speed Racer is the Japanese writer's work from the 60s
Yes.
to crash it. V for Vendetta is the English writer Alan Moore's work. And these people have books. You cannot sit up there and say you wrote The Matrix and go out and buy other people's books to rewrite into a script. This doesn't make any sense. To adapt other people's work. If you wrote The Matrix or Star Wars, you would continue the work.
Is a
The
Star
work is great.
is a Star Wars as well connected into the storyline? Is a Star Wars line as well? Is there something with this timeline
No,
as well?
it's no Star Wars line. A lot of the fans try to say it seems to them like Star Wars, but my work is greater than Star Wars.
Okay.
It's greater than Star Wars. Star Wars is the wars in heaven, and what Lucas wrote was the point of view of Satan, how Darth Vader, the devil, fell from the light to the dark.
Mm-hmm.
That is the opposite of the Matrix and Terminator series. Star Wars is the opposite, like polarity, polar. Polar opposite. It's polar opposite. They're not anything alike. They're polar opposites because Lucas is talking about Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the devil. He sits in his interviews and he explains to people that is how the devil fell from the light to the darkness. How Star Wars are the wars in heaven. That's what Star Wars means. That there was a great war in heaven. And Darth Vader fell.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Star Wars is about. My
The
story, my work is about the second coming.
yes.
Evolution, ascending, what ascension means. It's all quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
It is mathematics.
Mathematics. The Matrix. The womb.
That's right. If you Google the King James's Bible, you will see that Matrix is mentioned 5 times in there. That the Wachowski brothers didn't even know what Matrix meant. They had never read the King James's Bible. They had never read the Bible. When people asked them, where did you get Matrix from? They said they saw a lot of Kung Fu fighting.
Mm-hmm.
The Kung Fu fighting comes from me. That fighting I had initiated in science fiction and other stories. When all people before that was only doing martial arts fighting in martial arts movies. But I was growing up in Times Square, me and my girlfriend, who was half Japanese and half black, we would sneak off to Times Square and we would look at the Bruce Lee's movies, and we would look at the real Hidden Dragons and Crouching Tigers. Mm-hmm. We would look at the real Japanese martial art movies.
Like
I myself have native blood. My grandmother is full-blooded native. That's where I get the gift of second sight from.
Okay.
And my father is Spanish, Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I get the gift of second sight from my grandmother.
Let me think. Second sight. That so the inspiration comes to you, and then you write.
That's where the vision comes.
A vision.
Visionary.
It's a vision.
Visionary.
Okay.
That's right. It's where I get my visionary skills from. Is my grandmother being full-blooded Cherokee.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's also interesting. The bloodlines or something. Reminds me of the bloodlines of people that are different. So a line coming from Spain, and I think of Al-Andalus.
Yes, it does. From my father, Spain, the Portuguese. Portugal, Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and the House of Stewart. There are no accidents, no mistakes.
Yes.
There are no accidents, no mistakes. My name being Stewart. The House of the Stewarts were the Highlanders,
Mm-hmm.
and the Jacobites. The Jacobite wars were all about in King James's Bible when they were fighting because they had the bloodline from Spain. The Hanovers, the Tudors, right now in England is the German blood.
Mm-hmm.
They killed the Mary Queen of Scots to keep that bloodline, that Spanish bloodline, from being on the throne because King James and King Charles were kings of England. They were the kings of England at one point in history.
The, does
But this is where the Scottish and the Highlanders come in and all this fighting in Portuguese and Spain. And a lot of people don't even see that connection. I'm just quite amazed that you are able to see the connections. King James Stewart had a daughter named Sophia Stewart.
mm-hmm.
So my name is ancient. It's
Yes.
an ancient name.
Let me think. What I think about now is so this the Spanish connection is also the Moorish connection, right? The
Yes, indeed.
from North Africa.
In Spain.
That's deep.
Well, the Moors raped the whole of Spain and of Italy, and that's where you see the Sicilians come from, like De Niro and Pacino and a host of other ones. They're all Sicilians.
Hmm.
Sicily, because
Sicily.
the Moors ravaged the southern part of Italy as well as Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all deep. It all comes around in history. A lot of people don't even know that the connections that history has in the roots, they go way back. And the things come back around again. Every 20 years, the pendulum swings back
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
and everything goes back to the beginning all over again.
Hmm.
A complete cycle, a complete circle of karma.
Every 20 years.
Every 20 years, actually, it comes, everything swings back every 20 years, a complete cycle,
Is this a
a
script?
complete circle.
Is that
Excuse me?
is that a script as well? Is that scripted those 20 years, or is it like this cycle?
No, it's just a cycle because everything is in a cycle of obedience, except for the human beings upon the earth. They are the only ones that was given choice. The animals, the insects, even the angels are in circles of obedience. The elements, the seasons, everything is in a cycle or a circle of obedience. And
Hmm.
if you look at the 8888, that's God's number. And if you put all those eight in vertical or horizontal, they're nothing but zero, infinity, meaning that God is forever. He's a forever cycle. And that
Hmm.
the earth is a cycle. That the earth rotates in evolution is a cycle. Everything, the atom, atom, not the Adama, the atom, atom is a circle. Everything is a cycle, a circle. If you split that atom, atom, to the right, you create a clone, life. And if you split it to the left, you create a death, the atomic bomb. And if you break down the neutrons, the electrons, and the protons, you will have a nuclear bomb. You break it down to the lowest denominator. Because everything is the cycle, winter, fall, spring, and summer. The elements, everything, even water, flows in a cycle. Meaning if it starts at one point over here, it'll end up back again. A complete cycle, a straight line. You move in a straight line and you end back into where you started from. Because everything is a circle or a cycle of obedience.
Obedience to the Most High, then.
Universal law of God.
Universal law.
Everything is in the obedience of the universal cycle or circle of God. And it obeys. Everything obeys except for man. Man is the only one that can say, I'm not going to worship God today. I'm not going to do what's right. I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. And this is why the angels cried out, why? Why did God give these apes, which the angels call man, because the angels are supernatural beings, indestructible, yet they have to stay in obedience and cannot leave their stations. If
Mm.
they do, then they must be submerged into the abyss for a number of time, and then they must be released for a number of time. But that is the cycle. But everything is in obedience to the universal laws of God,
I,
except for man. God gave man the choice. He's the only one that has choice. Everything else, like I just told you, is obeying the cycles, obeying the circles, obeying the universal laws of God.
so everything
And
is.
you can look around you and you can see this.
Yes, yes, I agree. So everything is in submission to the law of the Most High, then, or the.
The will of God. Everything is in the submissions of the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. All indestructibles, all supernatural beings, all elements, which are living things. The water is a living element. The fire is a living element. The sun is a living element. The earth is a living element. The air that you breathe is a living element. Everything is a living thing.
Mm-hmm.
The insects, the animals, the trees, the rocks. That's why you see the rocks moving. You don't physically see them with your eyes, but they are living. The trees are living. You can speak to them. The plants are living entity. You may speak to them. You may speak to the wind, the water, the fire. This is what the natives knew. That if you take anything from these living things, then you must give back. Because you cannot be a taker, because you'll take you right out of here. And you can't be a giver and not receive. That everything must be balanced out. That God is balance. He created balance. So man that just take, he has to leave from the earth. Because everything is giving and receiving. Whatever you take, you must put back. Whatever you give, you must receive something back in return. Everything is polarity, not duality. Dualism, deception was the lie that
Mm-hmm.
Descartes, the philosopher, came up with when he said there was two things going on. God said there can only be one, and
Yes.
that was him. He is the one. There can only be one. There is no two things going on. It's polar opposite, which is just one thing. The yin and the yang is one.
Mm-hmm.
They're not two. They're one in a complete circle or cycle of obedience. And man believing in a lie, which is ignorance and confusion and illusions, is what put him in the position he's in. And until he comes to the truth, then he will forever follow that cycle until he comes out of ignorance, until he evolves and understands the truth of God and know who God really is. Every knee and every tongue must bow down before they leave the earth. They must acknowledge that God is, that God does exist. And it's so pitiful because they see the sun, they see the earth, they see the water, and this water is not going anywhere. And this earth is not going anywhere. And the fire is not going anywhere. And the air that you breathe is not going anywhere. The only thing that's going on here is people coming in and leaving out.
Mm-hmm.
They come in with nothing and they shall leave out with nothing when they leave.
So it's a transit place.
And their worlds are the only worlds that are changing and being destroyed and recreated to something greater. No, the earth shall never be destroyed. The world, water, fire, none of this stuff shall ever be destroyed. Go back into history and look at all of the civilizations that were corrupted and that failed. Mesopotamia, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, Pompeii, Rome. I can go on and on and on. The only world that came to an end was man's world of corruption. And God started all over again, brand new and fresh. The corruption has to leave. Chaos will never dominate good and life and love and compassion and understanding. When corruption gets so horrible, then it sets off cataclysms. And then it has to leave. Just like any plague has to leave. Ecclesiastics tells you that. There is a time for everything. A time to be happy, a time to weep. A time to plan, a time to pull up from planning. It is a time for everything, but the time is always shortened. There will always be the sunshine tomorrow. Even if the clouds block it, it is still shining. Even when it's raining, it is still shining. And it'll come back tomorrow. There's always a better day tomorrow.
That's a very hopeful, that could be a very hopeful conclusion to
It is a very truthful conclusion.
truthful.
All you have to do is go back and examine the past and learn from the past and see that the only worlds that ended were corrupted worlds. The earth was never destroyed. It's still here.
Mm-hmm.
The sun was never destroyed. It's still here. The air was never destroyed. It's still here. And everything is recycling itself. The water is recycling. Even if it gets stopped up over here, it'll recycle in your backyard. It'll pop up in your backyard. All the oil, all the gold, all the food, trees, everything goes through a recycling. It goes through the cycle of life. And then it comes back up again in spring.
So
It's always gone on like that. The only thing that is ever left here, or it's corrupted men, corrupted people who have harmed other people. Go back and look at Rome when they start raping and robbing and pillaging and raping the kids and animals. They had to leave from here. And now they're trying to bring homosexuality. And now you see the movie The Purge, where they'll make a law of killing. You can kill for one day to purge your system. All of this corruption that is going to come upon the earth has to be wiped out. And then a new cycle, new goodness has to be born back on the earth. Chaos will never dominate upon the earth. Never. Did you see a man in 1920? He's in New York City and he's holding a card and he said the world is coming to an end. Yes, his world is coming to an end. The world that he knew. The horse and buggies had to leave and the cars took their place.
mm-hmm.
Whenever something leaves the earth, something greater takes its place.
Yes.
It is the truth that I'm speaking. Go back and look at history. You see all the artifacts of all the great civilizations upon the earth. Egypt, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, Easter Island, Stonehenge. I can go on and on and on and on. Greek. The arena. But where are these people? Who were they?
Mm-hmm. They're all gone.
because what they ate out of, how they dressed, what they were using is still here upon the earth.
Yes. Yeah.
The ancient artifacts are here in all our museums,
Mm-hmm. And they are
even
gone.
their ships, even their ships, their plates, their jewelry, their clothing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they had is still here. Their artifacts, their buildings are still here upon the earth. But some of their bones can't even be found. Who were these people? What did they look like? There were giants upon the earth. The Bible tells you, hybrids. But the only thing that's leaving out of here is the corruption.
Mm-hmm. So
And then the earth will replenish itself again and again and again through many cycles. And God will send builders of civilizations to come and help the people to rebuild.
build.
Just like the flood of Noah. Just like all the cataclysms that ever came upon the earth. There were the builders of civilization coming back upon the earth to restore it, to help the new people that are born to replenish it until it gets so corrupted it has to be wiped out again. And man's time is ending when he becomes so corrupted that it is an abomination to God. Then he has to leave the earth, man. And these lies that he tells people, there's not going to be no more water, no more money, no more food, no more this, no more that, to start chaos. Or nothing lies. Everything is in obedience of recycling.
Yes. Recycling. Obedience, recycling, and the corrupted parts are thrown out, kind of, in the process.
That's right. The corruption is thrown out. It's just like when a woman has a baby and the baby is stillborn. The reason why the baby is stillborn is because it is not developed to come into the earth. It is not developed to come in to survive into the earth atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be recycled to go back.
Wow. It's a lot of things to think about and to analyze there. I get the
Well, I spoke the truth.
yeah I get it. I think yes.
I spoke the truth. You can just go back and read the history of all the civilizations that you see, the artifacts that were here on the earth. The artifacts of who these great civilizations are still here with us. You
Mm-hmm.
go to any museum, no matter what part of the earth you're on, you go to any museums and you'll see the artifacts. Or you can go to the places upon the earth where the actual artifacts are standing.
Yes.
But the people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
The people are gone in every one of those cycles. The people are gone. And look, new people have come upon the earth. Look at us.
There we are.
We're here. And all these lies of corruption that they've told people to make wrong choices. Because that is what's been going on. Just lie after lie after lie. An illusion. An illusion after an illusion.
An illusion after an illusion within an illusion.
That's right, because man creates the illusions of ignorance and lies. He is creating the illusions. He is creating the lie. But all you have to do is open up your eyes and look in this earth and look at the artifacts and know that the only thing that has left from here and the only world that has ended was the world that men has created that was corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only worlds that have ended. Ignorance, backwardsness, things that don't fit in to the new. Everything that won't go into the new world at the end of winter, in December, the cycle of winter, all of those
Solstice.
things that are not going to come into the earth during the spring has to be kicked out of the earth.
Uh-huh.
That's why you see so many people dying around the winter time. And they won't be coming through during the spring, the cycle. During the cycle, they have to, it's the time of shedding. When the fall comes, everything sheds and it's getting ready, just like a woman, her body is getting ready to birth a baby.
Yes,
It goes through the same cycle, the 9 month cycle.
the idea of what you said, the matrix or the womb, like Stargate.
Yes, it is a Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what it is. It is definitely a Stargate.
It's I wonder if for the listeners who would listen in the future, how they will experience this talk. But for me, I must say that it's the it has effect what you say in my mind, and it works. Yes. It
This is what my work, the Matrix and Terminator movie, why they're so huge, why it's so phenomenal, why there are 3 billion Matrix and Terminator fans around the world, and that Matrix is a religion over there in Italy, Rome, Italy. One of the Illuminati's told me. I have Illuminati fans
mm-hmm.
that call me and talk to me and email me
Mm-hmm. This is
because everybody loves the Matrix and Terminator.
yes, in 1999. Yeah, of course I watched it. I think I was about 19 or 18 or 16 or something, and I watched the maybe younger. I'm not sure anymore. But it's surely defined a whole lot of the mindsets of people. Of many young people grew into it in Terminator and Matrix, and so it what you say, yeah, like a religion almost, or not,
Yes, it is.
or a
It
system.
is loved around the world, Matrix and Terminator.
I really hope that this the future of that people are this attack of the machines, or it does make me weary of the future. Does make me weary a little bit when I think of clouds of.
You should not be. You should not be weary about man. You should live your life and live it well and live it in goodness. Because what others do does not have an effect on us. It has an effect on them and all of karma that comes back to them. Doesn't have an effect. God says whatever is good, whatever is beautiful, that we need to think these thoughts, good thoughts, beautiful thoughts, creative thoughts, because we create our own heaven and hell by what we think. And
Mm,
what we think is what we do and what we're processing. And we don't need to have fear because fear doesn't come from God. It comes from the evil one. Fear is ignorance. It's saying that God is afraid when God is not afraid of anything or anyone. That's why little kids are so phenomenal because they don't have these programs
mm-hmm.
that man teaches other men in school. Because all these programs and all these illusions are created just for you to make of the wrong choices and for you to make a bad choice. And all you need to do is think and do good and make good thought, make good choices. Do good. God gave us the rules, He gave us the regulations, He gave us laws. Yet man rather believe man and all of his ignorance and lies and illusions. than to obey the simple will of God, which we see every day that the trees and animals and insects and angels and supernatural beings are obeying. We look at it every day and yet we don't even get it. But by studying nature, studying what we see upon the earth, that all these things obey God. And look at them. They're here. The trees are here. The water is here. The air we're breathing. Because if man had anything to do with it, he would put a switch on the sun and you wouldn't get any if you couldn't pay. You wouldn't get a drop of sunshine if he could put a switch on it and charge you for it. You wouldn't even get any of this air if he could put a switch on it, or water if he could put a switch on it. Because you have a choice. You don't have to do anything. Water will pop up in your backyard. Many people have wells and they don't pay for any water. God has fixed it where we can have heat because fire. We can rub two stones together and we can create fire. We can lay on the earth. We never have to even live in a house. There are so many warm places that we can just lay on the earth and go to sleep. God has given us everything, yet man has not looked at the greatness of the things that God has given us. Man is looking at the technology in the ignorance of what man has created and what man has told them is what's important, instead of looking around and seeing what is important. Man charges you every day for stuff that God has given to us freely. He lied to you and say, we're running out of land. He lies to you and say, we're running out of food. We're running out of water. Yet the seeds fall upon the earth. And there are plenty of fruits and vegetables and everything. And some parts of the world that you've never even walked into. Man has not even seen all the land and all the things of the earth. Man has not been able to see. You couldn't even live one lifetime and see everything that's here on the earth. It would be impossible.
Like in the scripture it says that as well. I remember.
It's true.
One cannot walk the earth one lifetime and see everything. Yeah, what you said, I remember it.
But God is telling you the truth. Man is lying. Mm-hmm. There are places upon the earth no man has even walked upon. No man has even seen. The Amazon has all kinds of fruits and vegetables and plant life and everything.
Which no man has ever seen.
That's right, which no man has ever set foot on.
Yes.
Land and water that no man has ever set foot on, has never even seen.
Recently,
man created all these illusions and lies to create fear,
yes,
to keep you from being productive.
Recently, my friends and we talk about things, and it seems there's a little drop of civilization in this huge planet. We are on this huge planet. It's kind of people waking up in reality that there's a huge planet with all kinds of things which are so far out. And we sit in our cities and kind of are occupied with our computers and social medias and all these things.
It's so true.
Yeah, and we have to wake up to this reality that there is a whole planet to discover or explore and live and wow. So explorers, the idea of humans being explorers in Earth. That came to mind.
That's correct. We will never run out of anything. And I don't even know how people could be in this vast world and look at this world and not realize that. How could they be talking doom and gloom? And they speak to me, well, what do you think about the market crashing? I said, the market crashed in 1929, and look at you now. Everything comes back. I said, everything takes the place of something else. I said, we didn't always have this kind of money that we had. Before this, we had gold. Before gold, there were spices. There were bartering. There were animals, horses, and trading. I said, something just takes the place of something else. If
Mm.
one thing goes up, that means something greater is coming, a better system. And you just want to keep it the same. But life is not the same. Life is about change. God says everything must change. Nothing can remain the same. And he didn't say changes were bad. It's the way people view things. When the people were in the horse and the buggies and the cars came in, the people in the horse and buggies didn't want the cars. They were afraid of them. They didn't want to drive them. They didn't want to learn. Same way when the internet came in. People are just afraid of change. But change doesn't mean it's bad. You can adapt to anything. We didn't have cell phones 50 years ago or 30 years ago.
Indeed.
Just 30 years ago, 33 years ago, we did not even have a cell phone. So you didn't even miss it 33 years ago. You didn't miss a cell phone at all.
Yes.
But now we don't even know what would happen if we didn't have a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. That's how quick it goes.
I'm just telling you. Do what now?
That's how quick it goes, the changes.
Yeah, the changes, that's how fast.
Fast.
I told people, I said, the world will never come to the end. It's just the world that you know. The way you know it used to be, it's the only thing that's going to come to an end. New life is birthing. New animals are birthing. New insects. New weather. New weather pattern changes. Water. Everything is just rebirthing, but it's greater. It's better than what you left. If you go back and you look at the caveman days and you look at where you are right now, everything that led up to this moment got better and better as it came forward. Life got better. It didn't retard. It got better. It was greater. Now we have greater foods. We have greater things. Yes, the polar opposite is always going to be there because they're one. You can't have pain without goodness. You can't have peace without war. You can't have love without hate because they're not separate things. They're all one, and everybody doesn't learn everything at the same time. Some people need to learn what grace is. Some people need to learn what doubts are, what love is, what respect is, what ignorance is. Everybody upon the earth is different, and they need to learn all these different things. Even if it's hate, they need to learn what hate is. If you don't know what hate is, you can't appreciate love. They need to know what war is so they can respect and enjoy peace. Or they need to know what peace is, and they need to experience every kind of realm of things because no one is the same upon the earth. Earth is like a big school of experiences, and you must experience different things.
Mm-hmm.
You must experience different things in order to grow.
One must experience different things in order to grow.
To grow.
Growth.
Without the experience of all these things upon the earth, you cannot grow. You cannot go through evolution. You cannot erase the corruption until you experience all ramifications of things. So even that things that people think are bad are not really bad. God says that we should be grateful for all things, whether it comes as a good or as a bad. We need to be grateful because there are many things that we need in our lives, and no two people need the same thing. And that change is good. God says change is good. He says everything must change. Nothing can remain the same, because if you don't change and you don't go through the cycles or the circles or evolution, then you cease to exist, because everything that is in earth is dead. So if everything is not moving, then it's dead. Whenever anything stops moving, or the molecules are not moving anymore, or the vibrations of it is not moving, then it is inert, then it is dead, and then it has to leave the earth. All living things are in constant flux of change and moving. Our skin is changing even though we don't see it. Our hair is growing and the old hair is falling out in our combs and brushes. Our teeth is going through evolution, our gums, everything, our blood is being recycled in our bodies. Everything is going through evolution, through recycling. But man doesn't tell you about this. Man doesn't even speak about the things that I'm speaking about, not in the way that I'm speaking about it. He gives you a picture of these things, but he makes you think other thoughts about them. Instead of giving you a clarity, he doesn't want you. He wants you to be in fear, which is ignorance. He wants you to think that he's the God and he can make the changes and he can do this and he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And man is not in charge. He's only in charge of himself. That is deep, isn't it?
Yes, yes, indeed. That's deep. It is deep. And I'm happy that for this uplifting speech, talk, communication. Yeah.
Yes, I just wish that I wish that you would see and investigate and see what I'm saying is true. Because all it takes is a little investigation, a little digging and looking, and a realization.
Realization.
That's why I never, right. That's why I never worry about what man is saying or what man is doing.
I must say.
I'm